Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.
It's time to get educated on your Second Amendment right. It's time to get locked and loaded with Gun Sports Radio. Your hosts, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey, will teach you everything there is to know about firearms, self-defense, and the laws that affect your American right to own and bear arms. Now, here's your host, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
Folks, welcome back. You are listening to Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer. Guy is so good. This segment is brought to you by the Gun Range San Diego, located at 7853 Balboa Avenue in San Diego. Go to thegunrangesandiego.com, thegunrangesandiego.com. They're open 10 to 10, 7 days a week. They will take care of you whether you're a first-time shooter or a long-time shooter. They are the Nordstroms of gun ranges, just not the price. Well, it's just me and Mr. Schwartz today. Dermisi didn't show up. Lance is out of town. But you brought in a great guest.
Yes, I did. It goes right along with the show sponsor, the Gun Range San Diego, because that's where we're having this fantastic event coming up on Saturday. And to talk more about it, we have special guest Ilsa Wolf.
How you doing, Ilsa?
Hi.
So tell us, what group are you with?
I'm with the San Diego Young Republicans here in our lovely city of San Diego.
We have Republicans in this state?
A few. We have a few.
I am totally...
Even some young ones.
I even tried to join your group, and they still haven't stopped laughing. So I guess there is a slight age requirement to be part of it.
It sort of caps out at about 40.
Yeah, I've been capped for months and months. So for people that don't know anything about the San Diego Young Republicans, tell us about who you are, what are you, and what's your goal?
So we're a group of obviously younger people in San Diego who care about politics, and we like to get together, talk about politics. We hold events, happy hours all throughout the city and the county, just to get like-minded people together, people who are tired of
the BS.
Yeah.
That's just the easiest way to say it. Well, and I've got to tell you, because I still get literature from you guys, and I get your website. You guys, somehow I got on your mailing list because I was trying to wiggle my way in. But that doesn't mean anybody over 40 can't help, because you're always looking for assistance in multiple ways to help get the word out.
Yeah, of course.
About the forgotten party in the state of California, which is the Republicans.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people just assume that if you're under 40, you're probably liberal, left-leaning.
Right, yeah.
So it's a great way to get people together who aren't going along with sort of the liberal agenda and want to think for themselves.
Well, and you hit it right on the head.
Yeah, and your meetings, you guys do a really great job. You get guest speakers that come in, elected officials.
A lot of people running for office. We encourage our members to run for office, local seats, and a couple people on our board are elected officials within the county.
I think it's funny. It must be because Michael must have went to one of your meetings, because he does the same thing with San Diego County gun owners. He goes after the politicians that are just starting out, getting on local boards, to find out, what their opinions are. I mean, we've had Democrats on the show, we've had Republicans on the show, and I can see the same kind of mentality, because it's all about education. That's all it is, just education. And for some reason, the Republican Party doesn't yell as loud as the left.
No.
And usually when you yell, it's because you're wrong. You know what I mean? Really. I mean, have you ever noticed when you get into an argument, they'll yell at you. Yeah. You know they're wrong, and they're yelling like, you can't hear me.
Your whole argument is volume.
Yeah, exactly. So how many in your group would you say in San Diego?
In San Diego... Gosh, I don't know.
Quite a few.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've checked.
Since you counted?
But our meetings usually get about 20 to 30 people, and we'll maybe more at happy hours. They're a little more relaxed. Our meetings are more about the educational part of it with the guest speakers and elected officials or people running. Happy hours are more social.
So this is kind of giving people an opportunity at your age level that if they're just so fed up and they want to do something about it, but they don't know what to do and don't know how to do it.
Yeah, and how to meet people who are even
like-minded.
A couple people, or we've had people come recently to meetings who go to college in San Diego. And we even had a girl who's an art major. Her profession is art. And she found our group because she just said things are just getting crazier. And these ideas and these things that people are trying to tell you, she's like, they just don't make sense to me anymore. And I needed to find people who
that understand.
That way.
Yeah.
I was going to say that seems to be kind of, you and I were just talking before the show on, there are so many subjects that are not just controversial, but they've gotten like hyper controversial. Yeah. And it's tough to find people that you can talk to reasonably about certain subjects. And I would think that a lot of people would come to, young Republican meetings just to find, birds of a feather.
Yeah. And like you said, a lot of topics, if you're speaking about it, say on college campuses, even questioning one side or the side that sort of the more liberal stance of something, just questioning it gets you called, you get
banned
or whatever.
You get banned from the cafeteria. You can't go to the library.
Get harassed.
You get harassed. And it's just
for questioning something, not even necessarily saying you disagree with it, but just being like, well, what about this? And people won't have it. There's no flexibility of thought, I guess.
So let me ask you this. This is something I always wondered about. When we interview a politician, he pretty much says kind of what we want to hear and what have you. Do they show you the same respect being the age you guys are at, the younger age? Do they really realize how important the role you're going to be playing in future, politics?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why we're able to get such good speakers at our meetings. They know how important it is to talk to our age group and to find people in our age group that do agree with them.
Are they all Republicans, or do you get a few Dems in there?
For the most part, it's
Republicans, yeah.
But sometimes, when people are running for city council or whatever,
they're going to want to jump in.
Who do you like? Who's your favorite? Who do you like locally who's elected or maybe just a voice or running for office?
Or that's electable.
Yeah, who's someone that you just really respect and relate to and think they do a good job, on the Republican side?
I've always been a big fan of Carl DeMaio.
Yeah.
He's just a really good voice, and I love.
He's a no BS kind of guy. He tells you like it is.
Yeah, it's that, and then just getting people together to do the recalls and getting people really involved and politically motivated when they need to be.
Whoever's doing his email is a rocket, man. Let me tell you. You get as many emails from Carl as I do.
I get emails. I get texts. I get the occasional phone call.
I got an interesting phone call. I probably shouldn't say anything, but they were calling me. I guess President Trump is going to be in San Diego on the 18th.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So he asked me to, if there was anything that I could, do from a donation point of view, and I says, well, if you really want my answer, I says, I think you guys should have Gun and Sports Radio in front of the president.
There you go.
And he goes, give me your phone number.
Nice.
So I don't know. So you would be my date?
Absolutely. Actually, I got to tell you, if there's only one spot, you got to take Laura. She's got to go. She is on a mission to meet the president. So
well, that's okay. Then I have to take Laura. And Michelle.
There you go.
Because the other one, I told her last night, I thought she was going to flip out at a restaurant. I wasn't going to tell her, until I actually had it confirmed. But I think that he might do it.
Well, I hope so. So let's go to before we run out of time, let's talk about the event.
ATF night.
So, what is it? When is it?
It's this Saturday.
Okay. ATF night. First, what is ATF?
It's called ATF night. It's sort of a tongue-in-cheek name. It's named after the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms. But sort of being playful with it. What happens is we team up with San Diego County gun owners. We get a lot of their great mentors to come and bring their guns. They're unique, sometimes
classics.
And you get to go. It's at the gun range, San Diego.
Oh, cool. So you're going to go shooting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you get to shoot all these really unique special guns.
Wow.
You learn some gun safety. And, a lot of people have just never shot a gun before, and they don't
have any
really
idea.
know what it's like or have any idea what it's like. And it's just a great way to learn a lot about a lot of different types of guns and how they're used.
What time is the event?
It starts at 2 p.m.
Oh, okay.
At the gun range. And then afterwards, so that's the firearms part. We do the firearms first. Obviously, we don't do the alcohol first.
No.
That wouldn't be kosher with everybody. So we go shoot at the gun range, and there's a sign-up link. You can sign up for range time, so you don't have to be there all day. You can sign up for what time you want, and that's available on our website, sdyoungrepublicans.org, along with the sign-up and to buy tickets. And then we go over we'll be going to 94th Aero Squadron.
Ah, that's cool.
Right after. Yeah. And we have a buffet-style dinner for everyone, and that is when we'll have the alcohol part.
Yeah, the libation aspect.
And we'll also have cigars available. So we get our tobacco in there too.
How about that? ATF. Isn't that nice?
That's awesome.
I've heard, by the way, real quick, I've heard that this night was invented by Frank Hilliker. Did you know that?
No.
I heard that it was his idea and he started it. Frank Hilliker from Hilliker Eggs.
The club's been doing it for, I don't know how many years, but
longer than you've been around, young
longer
lady.
than I've been in the club, and it's a great event. It's a lot of fun. And
what's the website again?
sdyoungrepublicans.org.
How much are the tickets?
Tickets are for non-members. They're $40. If you're already a SDYR member, they're $30. And we have a special for any college Republicans out there. They're $20 tickets.
Wow, how sweet is that? You going?
I'm definitely going. Yeah, we're going to help run. Our mentors bring their guns, and we help organize it and run it. And then we
buffet
go
at the 94th.
And then we go
Squadron.
to the buffet and have some tobacco and some alcohol.
Shoot tobacco and smoke a cigar. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there's a whole lot more right here on Gun Sports Radio. FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Welcome back, Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
As you know, lawful AR ownership is increasingly under attack. California's assault weapon laws make it impossible to legally keep your AR rifle with the features it was born with. What's the solution? Well, it's the Cali Key. The Cali Key removes your rifle from the definition of an assault weapon by converting any mil-spec direct impingement AR platform rifle into a straight pull bolt-action rifle. It's a true drop-in solution. In less than a couple of minutes, you are good to go. No milling, no aesthetics modification, and no turning off your gas system either. Keep your entire AR collection intact at a price you can afford with Cali Key. We love those guys. Check them out. CaliKey.com, KALIKEY.com. Hey, do you know what the best defense for self-defense in those horrible new red flag laws? Firearms legal protection. Mike Lance and I use them, and I tell you what, you can't go wrong. For less than $10 a month, Firearms Legal Protection is a legal defense program for lawful gun ownership with a 24/7 emergency hotline and plans designed specifically for the firearms owner. Firearms Legal Protection is the best legal protection for self-defense. You need to be ready if that knock on the door comes to take your guns away using red flag laws. Talk to the good folks at Firearms Legal Protection today. That's Firearms Legal Protection at www.firearmslegal.com or call them at 469-310-9100. That's firearmslegal.com, 469-310-9100. Be ready for those new red flag laws.
So Cali Key's running a special for the month of September, Dave. I don't know if you knew about that.
No, I didn't know.
We just announced that, Cali Key, Ascanio is such a great guy. He's the guy that invented Cali Key. And the special for the month of September is if you sign up to be a 10-ring member of San Diego County Gun Owners, he's going to give you for free a Cali key plus BCG, bolt carrier group, which is like a $200 value.
Wow.
So that's for the 10-ring membership. 10-ring membership is our highest level of membership. It's $1,000 a year or $100 a month. And with a 10-ring membership, you get to go to various events. We have different meetings with elected officials, sporting clays once a month, that sort of thing. There's a lot of different benefits. For more information on how to be a 10-ring member, go to SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com and just click on join, and it'll spell out the different memberships. But then, if you join in the month of September,
and if you need a Cali key, and that other thing,
if you need the Cali key plus the BCG, the BCG, the bolt carrier group, which is
where's Sam when I need him?
That should be the trivia question. What is a BCG? No,
yeah,
that's not
all right. So I did the math. Okay, I wasn't really good in school.
Yeah,
but $100 a month.
Yep,
is $1,200.
That's correct.
So the math is such that if you do you're actually giving them a discount,
20% discount
on top of all the fun they're going to have.
Exactly right. So it's $1,200 a month for a monthly donation. Right. We'll get you a 10
and you can get that automatic direct from your credit card, so you don't have to fool with it.
Correct. 20% discount if you want to pay it all at once. It's $1,000, and if you do either one of those, you'll get another $200 value because of the Cali key, which happens all month.
How about that? Hey, folks, you need a lawyer? Well, guess what? Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance, LLP are the lawyers we recommend. John is the gun lawyer at Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance, LLP. You might even get him if you're a firearms legal protection, folks. And if you ever get in trouble and you have to call firearms legal protection, you very well may get John Dillon. Don't make a move when it has anything to do with guns without talking to John Dillon. Phone call cost you anything? No. He is here to help you. He is a gun owner himself. He's a hunter. He's still trying to get Michael Schwartz to go boar hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to sit in the tree, and you're going to run around on the ground to get the boar to chase you. Have you thought about that? Have you? Because he tried to get me to do that.
Just stuff my pockets full of ears of corn, and I go run around. All right, I'm in.
Okay, so CAFirearmsLegal.com, CAFirearmsLegal.com. Don't make a move until you talk to him.
And he's filing a lawsuit. He filed a lawsuit.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago on our behalf. Ilsa, I don't know if you heard about this, but San Diego County Gun Owners is the plaintiff in a lawsuit against the state of California, where we're going to try to get rid of the quote-unquote assault weapons ban.
Oh, yeah, I think I did hear about that.
So we're the whole point of the case is, and you understand this because you were telling us you're a paralegal, so you kind of,
you get this little
you get this, right?
I'm not an expert in gun law.
You know more than we know.
But the idea is that a few months ago, a local Judge Benitez, ruled that magazines for firearms are constitutionally protected. They're basically a necessary part of a firearm. Therefore, they're constitutionally protected. And we had 1 week where in California, you could buy normal capacity magazines rather than just the 10 round or under. And that decision was stayed, but it's still on the books, and they're still working their way through the process. But if you have a regular semi-automatic rifle, an AR, that sort of thing, depending on the configuration, if you put a normal capacity magazine into a legal rifle, it could be a felony. So because of this decision, this decision saying, hey, this is a constitutionally protected piece of the firearm. And then, hey, this semi-automatic rifle, this is a legally owned and used semi-automatic rifle. If you take a constitutionally protected part of the gun and put it into a legal gun and now you're a felon, that doesn't make any sense at all.
And I'm glad you're qualifying an AR the way you are. It is not an assault rifle. It's a semi-automatic rifle that has the looks of a military rifle, really. It's like buying a car and putting exhaust pipes out the side and down the back like a race car. Doesn't make it a race car.
Yeah, I would, the way I explain it to people is that, a firearm only does, a certain amount of things. It holds ammunition, it loads ammunition, it fires ammunition.
And it ejects ammunition.
It ejects, the unused part of the ammunition. And, designers throughout up till today, the last 150, 200 years, have been trying to get those firearms. And when I say firearms only do a certain amount of things, I mean all firearms, whether it's, a pistol, a Derringer, an
shotgun.
old... Yeah. So for centuries, they've been improving the design, and an AR-15 is arguably... a really extremely good, one of the best designs when it comes to a firearm, which is, proof positive. I mean, it's been almost unchanged for about 60 years now.
But everybody thinks it's new.
Right, yeah.
Everybody thinks it's new, but you could lay it up against a 30-06.
So they finally designed this firearm to hold ammunition really well, to load ammunition really well, to fire ammunition really well, and to eject, the unused portion of
very
well. So the military adopted it. You know what I mean? So when people say, "Oh, well, it's a military firearm that civilians get to use," that's not true. It is an engineer who came up with a fantastic design, right. And the military said, "Yeah, this is what we like. We like this, right?" But that same design and that same purpose is just as good for civilians. Yeah. It's just as good for military. It's just as good for law enforcement. It's just as good for hunters. I mean, really, what we're all trying to do is make the most efficient. I mean, there's a reason that cars have 4 tires.
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah, instead of 3
or 5. That is the most efficient, best use. There's a reason they all have steering wheels. There's a reason they all have windshields, and that's the same thing when it comes to any invention, including a firearm.
And yes, it's a firearm. Okay, you may not like the word firearm, but doesn't mean that's not a negative connotation. It's just what it is.
It's just what it is. And it's part of it is, and you hear the other side saying, well, gee, we don't want to ban guns. We just want to ban assault weapons, which is a pejorative term.
Yeah.
They're using it pejoratively.
And that just shows they don't know what they're talking about.
Well, they don't, but there's no substantial difference between an AR and any other firearm. They all do the same thing. They do it slightly differently. They all do the same thing. So if you can ban an AR, then you can definitely ban, granddad's hunting rifle. You can definitely ban, a Derringer. Someone's pistol. Ilsa's pistol. I don't know. Do you own a pistol, Ilsa? No. Okay. Well, when
you will after next Saturday.
Yeah. So anybody that uses a pistol or whatever for protection. So that's why we're fighting back, and why we're fighting back so hard is that it's this quote unquote assault weapons ban is really just a gateway to banning firearms because they're so significantly different.
And look who's bringing this up: law-abiding citizens,
sane, trained, law-abiding gun owners,
not the crooks. Because the crooks don't care. Crooks could care less. You can write laws until you choke on them, and the crooks don't care.
Don't care at all.
Not one bit. So leave us alone and go after the crooks.
Exactly.
It's just that simple.
And that's why John is, he filed that lawsuit. Yeah. We actually ended up with the same Judge Benitez, and we're looking forward to seeing how successful that lawsuit's going to be. But we're very proud. If you are a member of San Diego County Gun Owners, you are now a plaintiff in a
class action suit.
In a lawsuit that's going to get rid of the assault weapons ban here in California. So thank you for your support out there.
Yeah, and if you're not an owner, $10 a month.
That's right.
Hello, yep. $10 a month. You can't buy lunch for $10. I tried. So don't do that. Go to San Diego County Gun Owners.com, San Diego County Gun Owners.com. Sign up. It's as easy. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yep. And thank you, John Dillon.
We're there for everything he does. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a whole lot more right here on Gun Sports Radio. I think our buddy Casey from the gun range is going to be calling in. In fact, he's on the line, and I'm sure he's got a ton of cool things to talk about right here on FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Show is always better than the on-air show. This segment is brought to you by, as you know, wait a minute, I got to tell you about these great folks at Cali Key. As you know, lawful AR ownership is increasingly under attack. California assault weapon laws make it impossible to legally keep your AR rifle with the features you were born with. With this solution, it's the Cali Key. Cali Key removes your rifle from the definition of an assault weapon by converting any mil-spec direct impingement AR platform rifle into a straight pull bolt action rifle. It's a true drop-in solution. In less than a couple of minutes, you are good to go. No milling, no aesthetics, modification, and no turning off your gas systems either. Keep your entire AR collection intact at a price you can afford with Cali Key. Cali Key, Kalikey, Kalikey.com. All right. Hey, folks, this segment's brought to you by The Gun Range San Diego, 7853 Balboa Avenue in San Diego, 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Go to thegunrangesandiego.com, and I'll tell you what, whether you're a first-time shooter or an old-time shooter, either way, they'll take care of you like family. Ranges, just impeccable, clean as a whistle. There's range folks on the premises that can help you with any of your questions and making sure you and your friends are safe. Go to thegunrangesandiego.com. And with that being said, we got Casey on the line. What are you up to, bud?
Hey, it's Jason today. What's going on, Dave?
Oh, it is Jason.
Yeah, that's me.
So how are you doing? Just enjoying life?
All right. Yeah, definitely. 2 small kids, you know how it goes.
Are you at work or at home?
Oh, I'm at work.
Oh, then you got the kids with you. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. My kids. Yeah. What's going on with you?
Well, not a whole heck of a lot. We were sitting here talking with Ilsa. She's going to be at your store next Saturday about 2:00.
Yeah.
I guess it'll be the first part of a 2-part event. So I'm sure you're going to be ready for them. So, kind of explain to folks how you do host, groups here in San Diego that are gun enthusiasts.
We like to take them in. We typically make a reservation for them. Depending on the size of the group and just, availability, sometimes we'll ask them to come in before the store opens, or we'll set aside, a good portion of the range for them. It really kind of just depends. It's really situational.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what kind of action are you getting at the range? What's kind of the conversation with some of the new laws that are the state's trying to put through, or people are just coming in and just shooting?
The laws, as far as the new ammo laws, things like that.
Yeah. How's that going along?
We're dealing with it. It's definitely a massive inconvenience for both, especially for the customer, for the average shooter, for the employees as well. It just seems like a lot of redundancy to us. You already get a background check for a gun, so I don't know why you would need it for ammunition as well.
So there's a lot of repeated redundancy?
Yeah, you're running the same background check for ammunition every single time somebody buys ammunition. I just don't feel like it's going to prevent anything bad from happening, especially when you can hand load ammo.
Jason, I had a question come up over the weekend, actually. Yeah. A guy, of course, this is probably real common in San Diego because we have such a high population of military and military dependents, but he moved into town, he's active duty military, went in to purchase ammo and had a hard time because he's not a California resident. I think, I don't know, but I think the answer is that he needs to go through the $19 thorough DOJ background check, and then from there he shouldn't have a problem. That is
exactly what they need to do. We just had this problem just a few days ago. We had a Marine in here. She just wanted to get some ammo. She came from Pennsylvania, and she just wanted to get some 9mm ammo to take home. And she found that she had to do that $19 check, what they call the basic check, because she's never bought a gun in California before. So she was a little upset. She was understanding, but she was kind of upset, and felt very held back by the state because she had to do this. You have to wait an indefinite amount of time. It can take a few days. It can take a couple weeks. I've seen both before you get an answer back. And then it's, this is for 50 rounds of 9mm for a service member.
Jeez.
A veteran. So it's, an active duty service member, a Marine. So I just thought it was
silly.
It was kind of embarrassing. It was actually, we had to, kind of explain to her, we wanted to make sure they knew it wasn't, the store policy. This is the entire state's policy.
Right.
So it
just,
they shouldn't have to deal with that.
No, it literally boggles the mind. I mean,
it really does.
I'm telling you. So Elsa, let me throw you into this mix. I mean, here, this young lady, she doesn't own a gun. She's coming.
I'm a member of the San Diego County Gun Owners.
Yes, she is.
Right. And you're planning on shooting hopefully this Saturday.
Yes.
How do you feel about some of the new laws that they've come out, like not gun registration, but ammo registration? Are you guys kind of keeping an eye on that?
A little bit through our club. I mean, it's a concern for members of the YRs for sure. Mm-hmm. Especially people, I would say more for people who live maybe farther out in the East counties.
Yeah, not like downtown,
right?
For example.
Because I mean, a big thing is response times of, I
live in Alpine, so you don't have to tell me, because by the time they come, they're just bringing a body bag.
Well, yeah, and then no one wants to be criminalized just for owning something they have every right to own.
Exactly. No, I hear you. But I bet, Jason, you hear these stories, especially for people out of town. Like, are you kidding me? Really?
Very much so.
Yeah. See,
go
ahead.
I like to think I have a unique perspective on this, because both my parents are they're from countries who don't have guns. My dad's from Germany. My mom's from Japan. Even my dad can understand. A German man can understand. Like, you should have the means to defend yourself if that's your right, and that is your right in this country. I mean, if a man from Germany, most police don't even carry guns, can say that. I feel like it's getting to the point where it's a little ridiculous.
Well, I think you hit on a good point, and that is, if you have the right. That's the bottom line. You have the right. So you don't have to choose to own a firearm. You really don't. Like, I don't shoot 1/10 as much as Michael does.
Yeah.
But you're not taking my gun away.
I wish I could shoot more, but yeah.
I know you. If you had a range in your house, you and your wife would be happy. All the neighbors would just keep hearing thunk 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 thunk. So I think just the fact, if it's a right, and I'm allowed to make, just like the helmet laws, to be flat honest with you, the motorcycle helmet, we'll just go that route. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I'm not going to wear a helmet, but don't tell me I have to wear a helmet or not. Elsa had a question or a comment.
I just had a comment as far as from a female perspective. They're always, these sort of more leftist groups are always trying to champion women and toxic masculinity and all that. And I always thought, well, what better way for a woman to protect herself than to be armed and to know how to shoot a gun? It's, they always talk about it being an equalizer, and a lot of the time it can be. And people always say, well, you're more likely to get shot with your own gun, or whatever they say. And it's like, so you'd rather not prevent me from having even a fighting chance?
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing, too.
Not a good argument.
And Jason, you've heard it. Michael, you've heard it. All these women that have protected themselves, they've shot, intruders, but the media never covers it. It just kind of glides over it real lightly. They don't really make a big deal
out
of it. Very selective
about it.
And I think that's really the key. As long as it's on the books, which makes a good point. If it's on the books, why are they trying to take away what's on the books? I don't get it.
Because it's all about control. A lot of this is an existing agenda that they use tragedy to advance.
Right.
So it's not like they're looking at some kind of situation thinking, all right, well, how do we solve this problem? It's an existing agenda, and they go, all right, see, here's a tragedy here. Let's play on people's emotions and try to advance my agenda.
Do you think it's working as well this time after the last massacre? Because I'm noticing the media are starting to go a different direction. Instead of saying, ban the assault weapon, ban the guns, ban the bullets. Now they're starting to say, well, you know what? The last 3 or 4 had mental issues.
Medical issues.
So I think that they're starting. I mean, it's a slow turn. It's like moving a big ship, but it's almost like the media is getting off of taking guns away and starting to say, well, let's look at the real problem. Because
I definitely don't feel secure.
I'm not saying, but I'm just noticing, because I listen to a lot of news. And there was a time when that's all it was. Take them away, take them away, take them away, take them away. It just seems like it's turning. It's slow, but it's turning to where people are saying, well, maybe there's something else.
I wish it was more so. I think that, in fact, Ilsa and I were just talking about this before the show. This is the first time in a while, these past 6-8 months, maybe a year or so, that I've truly thought, wow, I think that there's a real potential for the anti-gun crowd to make some serious strides in their anti-gun agenda. So
you're more nervous than you are positive.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of really good things going on, and we're here back, behind enemy lines, and we've gotten CCWs, and we've gotten some people elected, and, a lot of good things have happened, but there's so much work to be done. There's so much potential for bad to happen, and I think we need to do more of what Ilsa was saying.
Why we have Ilsa,
which is touch on more of a I don't want to really say an emotional argument, but a personal argument. Like, hey, this is what protects me. This is my story, and maybe leave kind of the philosophical arguments off to the side a little bit, and really talk about, well, hey, me as a person, this is what I need. These are my concerns.
Right.
Because when if Dave Stahl says, hey, it's my right, and Ilsa says, hey, I'm trying to protect myself here. I'm in a world, I'm a single woman, and
people need to listen.
I mean, which one's going to strike a chord with more people? I think that,
I think Ilsa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why I'm so thrilled that we have a group in San Diego that believes in just that. And the interesting thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ilsa, it's not that you want to go buy a gun tomorrow. You just want to have the right.
Yeah, of course. I want to have the option.
Yeah. And nobody should be able to tell you that you don't have that right when you do.
Yeah, and there's a lot of situations where maybe, I guess you can talk about the background searches and all of that and the waiting periods. And it's like, well, maybe I don't have that time.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad things happen during that waiting period.
Well, yeah, maybe you've got a boyfriend that's coming after you. Yeah, and maybe you went out and got a restraining order. Oh, well, that's better than a gun. You just smack him in the face with a piece of paper. I'm right there with you. I just wish people would take all the rhetoric out of it and look at it as, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Here's a list of the goods. Here's a list of the bads. Let's make a decision. Not, well, if that politician wants it, I'm definitely not going to give it to him, whether I do or not. Oh, by the way, can I get my security team to come over here, please? All 27 of you with ARs, because we want to go down to the gym and work out. So come on, guys, let's all get in the truck and go. No, don't even get me started. All right, buddy. Hey, thanks a lot for calling in. It was great. Any specials going on down at the range?
Yeah, definitely. Springfield Pistols have a promotion going on right now. You can get an XD9 or a 19 loaded. Right now they have something called the Instant Gear Up program. You get 5 magazines instead of 2, an extra case, a holster, and it's all free. It all comes with that gun now. Yep, and that's till October.
All right. Did you write that down, Elsa?
Yeah, maybe I'll do that Saturday for our ATF.
There you go.
Great way to go.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Hey, this folks, Guns Range San Diego. Check these guys out. TheGunRangeSanDiego.com. All right, this is FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Sports Radio. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Tell all your friends. And I think, aren't you posting the shows on?
Yes, on SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com. If you go
missed a show.
Yeah, miss a show. We have them up for years. Last couple of years.
Awesome.
You can stream them.
All right, so make sure you do that. Hey, what's the best defense for self-defense and those horrible new red flag laws that are coming? Firearms Legal Protection. Mike Lance and I use them. Firearms Legal Protection is a legal defense program for lawful gun owners with a 24/7 emergency hotline and plans designed specifically for firearm owners. Firearms Legal Protection is the best legal protection for self-defense. You need to be ready if they knock on the door, if they're coming to get your guns with a red flag law. Talk to the good folks at Firearms Legal Protection. That's Firearms Legal Protection at www.firearmslegal.com. That's firearmslegal.com. Or you can call them at 469-310-9100. That's 469-310-9100. Be ready for the new red flag logs. Be proactive, not reactive. All right. Hey, we got Sam the Gunman.
Sam the Gunman. You there, Sam?
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Excellent. How about you, bud?
Living the dream.
Has the storm got to you yet?
Not yet.
All right. Keep blowing.
All right. You drinking your chocolate milk?
No, he gave it up.
Time.
You gave up chocolate milk?
No, he's drinking Tang.
No, all right. Well,
right?
Yeah, I got to get my vitamin C.
There you go.
A little nod to the NASA program. All right. So every week we have Sam the Gunman on, and we ask him trivia questions in an attempt to stump my nephew. Because for those who do not know, Sam is my sister's kid, my nephew, and he just turned. He's the ripe old age of 20. Are you 20 now?
That's correct.
Holy cow! All right. Have you been listening to the show?
Yeah.
Today?
Not tonight.
No? Okay, so Ilsa's here. She is a part of the Young Republicans, and they're having ATF night on Saturday, which is we go to a range and they shoot guns, and then we go to a restaurant and have some alcohol and smoke cigars. So that's the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So
I see.
Yeah, get it? Get it?
Yeah.
So I don't think you're not a Young Republican though, Sam, right? You're like aren't you a part of the Young anarchists? Is that the
good guess. No, I'm not part of any college political groups.
All right, fantastic. Well, let's go. Okay. All right. So Ilsa has a question for you. Go for it. She's going to ask you the first trivia question here.
Hi, this is Ilsa from San Diego. So my question is, what is fire forming?
What is fire forming? Thanks for the question. That's a really good one. So those of you out there who are reloaders already know this one. The properties, we think of metal as just sort of this inert substance, but the properties of metal, especially, in what's important to us is brass, the properties of metal change a lot when you heat it up, and especially when it's under pressure. And so you get some weird effects when you put brass under really high pressure and really high temperatures, like inside the chamber of a rifle. And so the brass actually begins to flow a little bit under the heat and pressure, and then almost like a liquid, and then it hardens again into a slightly different shape. So that's why you have to trim your brass when you're reloading.
That's amazing.
That's totally amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I even read that there is some kind of technique when fire forming your rounds that where you use cream of wheat. Have you heard of that, Sam?
I can't say I've heard of that. That's some pretty esoteric stuff. I'm not a reloader, and I would have to get way down into it to get to that level of kitchen gunsmithing.
Another technique uses a charge of fast-burning powder topped with a case full of cream of wheat and a wad to form a special blank cartridge that will expand the case. I had no idea. I didn't know that cream of wheat really had any use at all, but here, I guess that's what they make it for. So, all right.
That's what they make it for. That's kept the cream of wheat industry alive for the past 6 years.
So all you preppers out there, aside from Band-Aids and beans, load up on cream of wheat so that you can reload your own ammo. So Ilsa has another question for you.
Yeah, let's have it.
Okay.
All right. Next question. What is the fire control group?
The fire control group. This is a really interesting one, and that's actually got a really simple answer. And if you've ever built an AR-15, then this is old hat to you. The fire control group is just the trigger mechanism, the sear, all that stuff that drops the hammer or striker in whatever firearm it is. So like in an AR-15, for example, that's all those little bits in the lower that you don't want to mess with because you don't want to mess something up. Or if you've got like an aftermarket drop-in FCG, that's what that is. That's in that little box there.
It's the trigger. It's exactly right. That's it's a big
long story short.
The hammer, all that stuff.
So, Ilsa, have you built an AR-15 recently?
Not recently.
Not
no.
recently. All right. Well,
Do it next Thursday.
Looking into it, yeah.
Look into it. They have different colors.
Yeah.
Camouflage.
Maybe a pink one.
You can get your pink one.
well, that's fantastic. So you didn't stump him with your trivia questions,
Darn.
Ilsa, but
You are going to get a T-shirt.
you get a T-shirt.
Great.
So,
All right, Sam. Hey, thanks a million. How's the job doing?
It's doing great.
You loving it?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Are you in charge yet?
No.
In about another week, right?
Sure.
so Ilsa just said, by the way, she doesn't own a firearm yet. She doesn't own a pistol.
Yeah,
Sam.
haven't pulled the trigger on buying one.
So,
Make that joke all the time.
so Sam also works at a gun shop. And
Go
he's,
figure.
Yeah, very knowledgeable, works at a gun shop. So, Sam, what pistol, if you could recommend just one pistol for her to look at, like where should she start? You know, if you had to put money on something that she'd like, you know, what's your recommendation? Where should she start? What should she look at?
Well, it depends on how much shooting experience you have already, particularly handgun shooting experience. Our policy is that we recommend for people who really aren't big into shooting or don't have very much trigger time, that we recommend a J-frame revolver like a Smith & Wesson Airweight or a Ruger LCR or something comparable to that, because the manual of arms is very, very simple. You've got a trigger, an internal hammer, so you don't have to mess with the hammer or anything. You load it up, you close the cylinder, and then you pull the trigger, and it goes bang. No slide to mess with, no manual safety, none of that.
So it's got a lot of the advantages of a semi-automatic and a lot of the advantages, and all the advantages, really, of a revolver.
Yeah, simple, very, they tend to be very smooth and round, no snags, and especially if you don't have a lot of training on handgun shooting, then that can be a really, really great thing to carry.
So a hammerless J-frame Smith & Wesson revolver.
Yeah, I would look at the Model 442 if you're a Smith & Wesson fan, or the Ruger LCR.
All right. Well, let's see if we can find one this Saturday at
At the gun range.
Yeah, at ATF night. And all right, awesome, Sam. You did a fantastic job as always, my friend. Tell everybody I said hello, and great job, man. Keep.
Well, thanks, Uncle Mike, and thanks for having me on as always.
Yeah, you bet. Did by the way, did your mom tell you I fell out of your rowboat when I was on vacation?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more about that. So that's everybody. That's everything we have. So everybody, thank you very much. Check out SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com. Check out website
SDYoungRepublicans.org for ATF tickets.
Yep, and everybody else, we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. And hey, before we let everybody out the door, we really want to thank the San Diego County gun owners. Go to SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com. Throw $10 a month at him, or $100, whatever you can do. TheGunRangeSanDiego.com, CAFirearmsLaw.com, FirearmsLegal.com, CaliKey.com, and for more information, go to info@gunsportsradio.com. Folks, make sure you get involved and make sure you protect your rights right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.